I'm sorry. I've opened this up several times. Last thing, I know it feels bad that you're locked out of that house, but if you can't prove that you live there, you're opening me up and my company up to a world liability. And I feel bad for you. I do feel bad for you personally, but I can't just let you in because you Facebook messaged me and said, hey, I'm watching a house for someone's dogs.
Yeah, I'm watching them for your dogs. Or, there's a lot of crazy ex-girlfriends out there.
Welcome to Access Granted, a peek inside the real-life stories of physical security professionals. Now, here are your hosts, Justin, John, Ryan, and Brandon.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Access Granted, where we will be going over different years and styles of picking locks open. I'm here with Justin, Ryan, and John telecommuting again.
1968 versus 2026.
Yes, so
what kind of tools Grandpa would have used versus the tools that we use?
These are the tools you have probably seen an older locksmith choose, and even up until a few years ago, we use these religiously every day. And inside, you have a whole bunch of, here, you want to pull some of these out?
This is Ryan's personal pick set.
This is Ryan's pick set. So you would have something like this, which is what we call a tension wrench. And then this is a hook pick, and you have obviously clearly multiple different styles and designs of picks for different types of locks, and everybody here has got their own kind of personal favorite that we like to use. Mine looks like a Batman symbol. That's the one I prefer to use all the time. So this came in very different forms, a lot of different
and over the years, we've gotten...
I put my two picks right back in the middle.
Yeah, you just dropped them right there. Yeah, I'll put them back.
Over the years, they haven't changed much. They've had some different shapes and styles, but when my grandfather would go up to a house, he was using very similar set.
But that's also the style that every one of us grew up learning how to use initially.
Yeah, and out of those picks, Ryan, how many of those do you use?
3. Maybe 3.
What about you, Brandon? You've got your set very similar to that.
I probably use 2.
Yeah, I use 2.
Yeah, I use, like I said, I use my Batman to start, and once I get everything kind of set, and if there's just 1 or 2 that won't go, then I change over to a hook pick, and I just pick those 2 individually.
Can you do that again?
So what we're trying to kind of...
Is he calling the rake the Batman?
No, it's the severe rake with the point.
Oh.
Yeah.
He calls it a Batman.
Yeah, I call it this one because it looks like the Batman symbol. If you hold it up, it kind of, I don't know if you can
Put your
zoom
hand
in on
behind it
that.
so they can see
I don't know
it.
if you can zoom on that, but it's kind of got like a Batman feel to it. So instead of learning technical terms, I just make names up for everything. So that's my Batman pick. And then I go back through, and like I said, I'll use a hook pick.
I use a medium hook and then one rake, the number 1 rake.
So to get into the new one, and then we'll go into like stories of, or an explanation of how to, and then the things that we ran into. So this little guy was Justin, is
Lishi pick.
It's a Lishi pick named after the man who made it, Mr. Lishi. Don't have a first name for you.
Show him the picture. Should have his face on there.
It does. I don't know if you can zoom in, but it's a very communist picture of a man with some Chinese writing on it. And I think it says Mr. Lishi on it. Yeah. Is that what that says?
Mr. Rishi.
Mr. Rishi?
I believe
Mr.
it was
Rishi.
Japanese.
Mr. Lishi.
Oh, well, it's Japanese, so and you want to kind of show them how to use that.
Here, so the...
Don't hand things to me.
the Lishi pick, this is your tension wrench, and then on it, it's actually... The reason this was a game changer is it allows you to pick depth and spacing on each potential chamber of the key. The big thing of difference between the standard pick set that Brandon was showing earlier and the Lishi pick is that the Lishi pick is actually made specifically for a keyway. So it's got a specific profile and a specific depth and spacing set to allow you to do what's called single pin picking, to decode and pick the lock in one set. These came out, Mr. Lishi started making these early 2000s, but mostly started on automotive Lishi picks. He was making little cycle keys. And then it wasn't until about 2018, 2019 that they really exploded on the market with domestic American domestic keyways. And those have really changed the game. It allowed a lot of people to get into picking when they couldn't feel, they didn't have the dexterity in their fingers to feel what they were doing inside that lock. It was more of kind of like a hot dog hallway type deal before. It allowed the individuals who didn't have that dexterity to really understand what was going on inside that lock.
So one of the big difference and why this is such a helper is, like Justin said, it's a not only picker, but it decodes. So if we were going to go up to your house and you lost all your keys, well, we'd have to first get into the house. So we'd have to use this to pick it open. Then we would have to take the lock apart, take it out to the truck, decode all the pins, and put everything back together and make a key from it. From what Justin was saying, like this, if you're paying attention, and as it goes and you can feel it go, you can actually write down what number it was, therefore saving you all the time of having to take the lock off, take it apart, decode all the pins, put it back together, and put it back on the door.
And that's only in a situation where you're opening the lock and you want a working key to it. Most of the time when I'm opening the house, I'm not also rekeying it. But that does help us in the office when someone brings in a bunch of old locks that require a key to take it apart. You can decode it and make a key to use to take the rest of them apart. You only have to pick one.
And it works amazingly on the automotive because they have automotive Lishis now, and that's where Dalton can go out and he doesn't have to pull the lock out of it, so he can pick and read. It helps out. The reading helps out a lot more. Like Justin said, typically we're just getting into your house. You have your keys inside the garage, or you locked them inside. You locked yourself out. But with cars, it's all keys lost. Then you have to actually decode the lock to make originate a key for it. So it comes very handy is in the automotive field. It saves us a lot of time and hassle on the residential commercial stuff, but on the automotive, it's pretty much a game changer and lifesaver.
I guess there's just a big thing here is the tools haven't changed very much since 1968 when John Sr. went out. He's still using it. Even the Lishi works under the very same principles. There's not some weird...
It's not really a new technique.
There's not a camera or anything I'm sticking in there or some type of sonic device that's going to stick in there and decode the lock and make a key to it and pick it open all at once. We're still using our hands to get into it. Very rarely, again, we've talked about this before on the podcast. The first thing we're doing, we're not walking up to your house. We're not going to drill your lock. We're still going to use our pick set tools. You might see us use what's referred to as a pick gun. Oh, said the G word. But the pick gun actually just bounces the pins, and it's got a little trigger on it that bounces them. And hopefully, those are the first things I use when I really want to get in real quick and get paid and get out of there.
Worst case scenario would be a latch swiper or the bypass.
Yeah,
tool
that
for
makes
the
you
latch.
feel like just slimy, don't it?
It really does. You don't like using that because somebody could.
What he's referring to is what the colloquial term would be credit carding the door.
Yeah.
As a professional, it makes you feel bad when you walk up and you just swipe the latch and that old lady's been sitting in the cold for 25, 30 minutes and you're like, oh, that's all I had to do. Well, I'm still running a business. So what were you going to say, John?
Yeah. So who's the best at using the Lishi?
It's not us because we didn't train on it.
Yeah.
So like I can use it and it did make some things go quicker, but most of the time I'll use the Lishi and I'll be struggling with it. And I said, screw it, I'll just go grab my regular pick set and I'll just pick it open normally. And it's just because that's what we trained on and what we were used to. I mean, then again, I don't think any of the three of us or even you actually got a lesson from anybody on how to pick a lock. Now, since we've started hiring people, we've given them lessons on exactly what they're doing and what you should be feeling for. And the Lishi has helped that. And I know that like Cricket, who is just
okay, there we go. Yeah, Cricket is our best picker. I mean, it doesn't matter what I give him. Hell, he's
butts,
he's
locks,
fashioned his
keys,
own.
any of it. He can pick it.
Fashioned his own little for what am I?
High
security keys and things. He's fabricated his own tools.
Well, because he's got autism.
Hold the sidebars back and everything. But I would say, as far as using the Lishi, damn, I don't want to give him any credit, but Dalton is probably the one who, if he's watching,
I don't want to give downtown Dalton any credit.
Downtown Dalton is probably the best with the Lishis in the cars and getting them open. But like I said, he probably has the most call for using it most of the time.
Yeah, he gets experience with that every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
John, when you were learning to do this, what picks did you use?
We basically used two. We used a hook and a rake.
So was the hook
And
a
then-
stick and the rake a rock, or how did you have to fashion your own rocks into picks?
Man,
Yes,
make
actually,
tool.
we did. We took spring steel and we had to cut our own out.
I see.
Do you still have your first HBC pick set?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Hudson. Yeah, they
1982.
1982
Just as shiny as the day he got it.
because he's never used it.
I've broken more tension tools. I don't break the picks, but I
Yeah.
do break the tension tools.
Yeah,
No, the only picks I've ever broken are the ones I broke on purpose to use as something.
Oh,
That's like I don't use that one. I need that for like a.
No, but I don't have my first pick set. I lost that long ago.
yeah, I was to say, I think
I
I'm
don't
on
have
my
mine.
third one now, so I don't know.
Yeah, mine got left. I lost that whole bag. Somebody got real lucky that day.
Well, and one of the
Years ago, though. That
One
was
of the
years ago.
problems is these tension wrenches, they different lengths, different tension. But sometimes when you go out, you only have one tension wrench, and then you happen to be there's a door. The locks are right next to the frame, so you don't
that's
have
what's
any
annoying.
space to really turn that.
And then you got
Or
Betty
hold that in there,
sitting
and then-
over your
yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah.
it's cold out here.
Well, and we get it from both sides. It's either, we charge you too much because we did it in 2 minutes. So, hey, you're out of the elements and you're inside back in your warm house in 2 minutes. I would be very thankful for that. But other people get very upset that we charge them because that didn't take anything. That didn't take very long. Or you got the other ones who, there's a very stubborn lock. Oh, well, and it usually happens on, my garage door battery died. And I don't have a key to the front door. I always just use a garage door. So then you're going up to a door that faces the sun, never gets a key. It's dried out as hell, heck. And you're sitting there
And they
struggling.
haven't unlocked it since they moved in ever.
So you're trying to, you're struggling with it. And they're like, well, do you need me to do anything? Do you want me to hold anything? Are you sure you're going to be able to get this? So just if you're watching, if you ever need to call a locksmith, just get out of his way. Go sit in the car. Go wait. He's, I would say he's not a shady individual. Just let him do his thing. He'll come get you. And it just makes everything go a lot smoother for everybody involved. And it takes a lot of pressure off of the people who are trying to get you in without breaking anything. And
I would also be
Not being
just a
outside
little
for 20
at risk here. If he's not pulling out tools very similar to what we've shown you here, then he might not actually know what he's doing, or maybe he's got some type of weird alien technology that we're not we don't know what it's like. But I'm telling you, with the amount of experience sitting around this table or telecommuting in, we've seen just about everything.
so how many locks would you say you have picked open?
Thousands.
Thousands. Now, are we talking cam locks?
Oh, those are easy. Yeah. The worst part is when you go to a cam lock and you can't pick it open.
Yeah, that
And you're
drives
like-
me crazy. Or it's a freaking
So then-
damn double-sided and I
that-
don't have a double-sided wrench.
I did that the other day working on the access control panel. They didn't have a key, and I tried to pick it for a few minutes, and the guy goes, "Oh, you don't know how to pick it?" I just took a screwdriver and it popped it. And I was like, "Don't even talk to me about this." But no, we've had lots of experience. But again, if the guy's coming to your house and he's going to open it, and he's not pulling out tools like this first to try, then I would be really suspicious about what he's going to do next. And again, scammers are coming and going in here in the Quad Cities and elsewhere in the Midwest. They should be branded. They should have a name on their uniform, and someone who answers the phone should be a person, not a call center. Here in the Quad Cities.
That's one thing you want to, if there's like if you pick up the phone and it's ringing and then there's a long pause and then you kind of hear a click and then you hear people talking in the background, you probably want to hang up right then and there.
And then also, if they got a $35 or $75 service fee, that's kind of a red flag. Like I said, so
Yeah.
Our whole purpose with this is to teach the customers, hey, this is what you should be looking for, because there are people out there that will take advantage of you. And we like the tools that we use, and they haven't changed much.
It shouldn't be $25 and it shouldn't be $500. Those are I was talking to a couple that went to a Airbnb and they got locked out of it, and it was a holiday weekend and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and they were upset that they got charged like $250. I'm like, well, you got to remember, it's this guy's holiday weekend too. He was probably sleeping at his house that he got up and left. Just because you're up and still lively doesn't mean the rest of the world is. So yeah, you're paying for that man to get out of his bed.
That probably
do
wasn't
like-
a scammer.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that was a legitimate. It was an actual company that they called. It wasn't a.
I'm surprised they got in. Even because there was
yeah.
an Airbnb. That's
Yeah.
a unique scenario.
That is that was
he would
kind
let
of
him
where
in.
I was like, I don't know if he was just tired and didn't think about this too much, but it's like these people don't own the house. But
Yeah.
if you could show them the lease agreement, I guess you technically have. Yeah,
I guess.
we haven't ran into that too
rental,
much,
yeah.
thank God.
'Cause
But most
people
of
aren't
our
visiting the Quad Cities
most of
all-
our Airbnbs are owned locally, so
local.
it's not too fancy of a.
Well, that's a good topic. Last thing we need to bring up is if you're opening your house, whether that was in 1968 or in 2026, you need to have proof that you live there.
Yes.
You need to have an ID, a piece of mail. You need to have a lease agreement, even though we've been scammed on that once before.
Yeah,
that did
was,
happen.
That was
Somebody
though.
came through and they made a very legit looking false lease agreement, but we weren't the only ones that were scammed.
Yeah, the person that was leasing.
Was scammed also. But no, we have to do our due diligence. You have to sign a waiver letting us into the property. And again, if he's not pulling out tools like we showed, if he doesn't have a branded uniform or a branded truck, and he's trying to tell you that it's only going to cost you $15 to $25 or whatever to get into the house, that's probably a red flag. Our time is money, and there's some legal repercussions we have if we let you in the wrong house.
Yeah, lots. And, we actually know somebody who, this is why we always have somebody meet us there, because unfortunate circumstances, wrote the address down wrong, went to the neighbor's house, picked open their house, rekeyed it, and then the person who originally called him back and said, hey, my old keys are still working. He's like, no, I rekeyed that. And then they had to go phone number, address. So you pretty
You
much
had to go knock on the
Yeah.
door of the other guy
Yeah.
and say, hey.
Yeah.
And there was nobody home, so you had to wait for that person to get home and say, I accidentally broke into your house and rekeyed your locks because I didn't do my due diligence.
Yeah. So big problems, on our end of things
Yeah.
for that. So yeah, just asking for an ID or a piece of mail, something that is evidence or proof that you live there really, it saves our entire.
I'm sorry. I've opened this up several times. Last thing, I know it feels bad that you're locked out of that house, but if you can't prove that you live there, you're opening me up and my company up to a world of liability. And I feel bad for you. I do feel bad for you personally, but I can't just let you in because you Facebook messaged me and said, hey, I'm watching a house for someone's dogs.
Yeah, we're watching them for your dogs, or there's a lot of crazy ex-girlfriends out there.
Yeah, I just need into this
Yeah, I
house.
just need into this house, or this is my house, but no, I don't. You get there and you don't have any evidence that you live here. Well, it's my boyfriend's house. Well, I don't know your boyfriend, and he didn't call me, and
Well, let me have him call you. Yeah, because that's not just some Kevin.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
just
Well, can I have my
Chad.
landlord call you? I don't know who owns this house or who your landlord is. I need some documentation that states that it is okay for me to legally enter this premises.
But we wanted to, now that we did some filming, we wanted to let people see the tools that we're using. We wanted to kind of tell you that, hey, this technology has not changed. The way we're getting in your house is the same. And the last resort is going to be that 20-volt DeWalt with a 1/4-inch bit.
Yeah, if somebody comes up to your house and the first thing they're carrying without trying to pick it at all is just a drill, you probably could just tell them, stop, I'm going to call somebody else. That'll save you a giant bill, because somebody like that is, again, who's going to charge you $400 or $500.
Or more, $1,300, or I saw
Yeah.
one the other day online, it was $2,500. The guy drilled the lock open, didn't replace it, and left.
Was that New York where they have
It was California,
Okay.
which,
Still, it's better than New York. New York's got if you got locked out of your apartment in New York,
You've got 12 locks on the damn
you're going to
thing.
get an expensive bill. That's 12 locks I got to pick open for that damn thing. And then cut a chain probably on the inside.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, like I said, if you guys have any more questions about picking locks or anything that we do, always stop down at 1304 West 4th Street or give us a call at 563-322-0123.
And no, we will not sell you picks, but you can visit us at jjlocks.com.
Thanks for listening to Access Granted, a podcast by J&J Access and Security in association with TAG. For more information about J&J Access and Security, visit jjlocks.com.
TAG.